Okay, so it's a beautiful picture. Anybody want to give me a sense of making a prediction? What country do you think this might be from? Let's let somebody else answer. Go ahead. Egypt. Anybody else want to make a prediction? Go ahead. Asia. How can you tell that? Because rice is indigenous. When you think of rice, that's more indigenous to the Asian culture. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you gave your trigger away? So right now we have a sense it's about rice. It could be somewhere in Asia. Could be. We've got a good prediction. And can you tell anything else? There's another clue on there. Maybe some of you can't see it. Can you see? What do you see there? The people in the front, the individual there in the bottom. Can you tell some things from her clothes? Anything there? Might give another hint that that might be something from Asia or India, somewhere in that realm. See, there's another picture. Okay, long ago in India, there lived a Raja who believed that he was wise and fair, and as a Raja should be. The people in the province were rice farmers. The Raja decreed that everyone must give nearly all their rice to him. I will store the rice safely, the Raja promised the people, so that in time of famine everyone will have rice to eat and no one will go hungry. Each year, the Raja's rice collection gathered nearly all the people's rice and carried it away to the royal storehouse. So we can see the different pictures indicating that. Is that the royal storehouse there? Can you see that in the back? Very colorful. For many years, the rice grew well. People gave nearly all of their rice to the Raja, and the storehouses were always full. But the people were left with only just enough rice to get by. Then one year, the rice grew badly, and there was a famine and hunger. The people had no rice to give to the Raja, and they had no rice to eat. There's an operative word in there. What's a famine? Anybody know what a famine is? Let me get some other people who haven't called on yet. What is a famine? Go ahead right there. A drought. Give me another word for famine. Drought was a good one. Excellent. Go ahead, sweetie.
Time where there's barely any food to eat.
Barely any food to eat. So if you remember at one time, have you ever heard of the potato famine? Mm-hmm. Okay, what did that mean at that period of time? Go ahead. You had your hand up. Keep coming with me.
The potatoes got some sort of
disease or blight. Okay, that was good. And so then what happened? Were there potatoes available? So there were no potatoes available, so that was defined as a famine. Go ahead, sweetie.
I also heard, I think I heard that in Hansel and Gretel, because they had a famine in food, and that's why the mean mother tried to leave them out, so they had enough food for only the dad and mom.
Wonderful connection. See how you're making other connections to other pieces of literature and other historical events? So this famine was very real. The Raja's ministers implored him, Your Highness, let us open the royal storehouses and give the rice to the people as you promised. No, cried the Raja. How do I know how long the famine may last? I must have the rice for myself. Promise or no promise, a Raja must not go hungry. Now that is very, very what? Give me a word that describes the Raja. Go ahead in the back. Very selfish. Who's he thinking about? Himself. And not the others, correct? Are we on the, go ahead. Greedy. Love that word. I'm going to ask you because you're fifth graders. I love words, and I love big words. So think of other words such as, that was good when we talked about selfish. What's another word for selfish is greedy. Got another word? What?
Self-centered.
Self-centered. Very good, but that was good. Go ahead. What do you think? Self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means you can take care of yourself. Selfish, greedy, thinking about themselves only. Another big word would be egocentric. Think about that's a really big word. Egocentric means, if you break that down, egocentric, center is thinking about the individual at the center of the core, nobody else. Okay, time went on and the people grew more and more hungry, but the Raja would not give out any of the rice. One day, the Raja ordered a feast for himself and his court. As it seemed to him, a Raja should now and then, even when there is a famine. A servant led an elephant from the royal storehouse to the palace carrying 2 full baskets of rice. A village girl named Ronnie saw a trickle of rice that was falling from one of the baskets. Quickly, she jumped up and walked along beside the elephant, catching the falling rice in her skirt. She was clever, and she began to make a plan. So this is very good. She was catching the rice as it was coming out, and she was making a plan. Anybody have an idea what the prediction might be for her plan? Others? Get the same hands up, guys. What do you think the prediction is going to be? Go ahead in the back. She might plant them. She might. Go ahead.
She might get enough to feed all the people.
Okay. Is that what you were going to say? So think about the possible plans for her prediction. I always want you to think one step ahead. Okay, now I'm intrigued by this story. So she began to make her plan. I can't wait to see. At the palace, a guard cried, "Halt, thief! Where are you going with that rice?" "I am not a thief," Ron replied. "This rice fell from one of the baskets, and I'm returning it now to the Raja." When the Raja heard about Ronnie's good deed, he asked his ministers to bring her before him. "I wish to reward you for returning what belongs to me," the Raja said to Ronnie. "Ask me for anything, and you shall have it." So, do you think that's her true plan? You think that's her true plan is to return it? Do you think, how many people agree with that? How many think it's her true motivation to give the rice back to the Raja? Is that what you're thinking? Who knows? I don't have enough information right now, do you? Let's see what happens. "Your Highness," said Ronnie, "I do not deserve any reward at all, but if you wish, you may give me 1 grain of rice." "Only 1 grain of rice?" exclaimed the Raja. "Surely you will allow me to reward you more plentiful, as the Raja should." "Very well," said Ronnie. "If it pleases your Highness, you may reward me in this way. Today you will give me a single grain of rice. Then each day for 30 days you will give me double the rice you gave me the day before. Thus tomorrow you will give me 2 grains of rice. The next day, 4 grains of rice." How many after that?
6.
Okay, she's doubling every day, right? And so on, and in 30 days. So on for 30 days. Okay, now I'm excited. "This seems still to be a modest reward," said the Raja, "but you shall have it. You shall have it." And Ronnie was presented with a single grain of rice. The next day, Ronnie was presented with 2 grains of rice. And the following day, Ronnie was presented with 4 grains of rice. Now, we've already made the prediction the next day is going to be 8, and after that would be 16. So we're seeing the doubling up to 30 days, right? On the 9th day, Ronnie was presented with 256 grains of rice. She had received in all 511 grains of rice, only enough for a small handful. "The girl is honest, but not very clever," thought the Raja. "She would have gained more rice by keeping what fell into her skirt." I think she's pretty clever. I think something's going to reveal itself here. How many grains of rice total? It said 256 grains, or excuse me, on the 9th day. Overall, she received 511 grains of rice, okay? On the 12th day, Ronnie received 2,048 grains of rice, about 4 handfuls. On the 13th day, she received 4,096 grains of rice, enough to fill a bowl. Wow, what day are we on? 13th day. On the 16th day, Ronnie was presented with a bag containing 32,768 grains of rice. Altogether, she had enough rice for 2 full bags. God bless you. "This doubling adds up to more rice than I expected," thought the Raja. Now who's concerned? The Raja. The Raja. "But surely her reward won't amount to much more." Who gets an understanding now where this is going? You got it? What do you think's going to happen?
Like, she's asking him, like, you may give me 1 grain of rice and then, like, double it. And then at the end, she's probably going to get all the rice.
Ah, who agrees with that? Who thinks that might be a prediction? That's great. Okay, let's see. Now I'm really excited. I can't wait to turn this. I've never read this book before. I like it. Okay, but sure, her reward won't amount to much more. Let's continue. On the 20th day, Ronnie was presented with 16 more bags filled with rice. On the 21st day, she received, listen to this, 1,048,576 grains of rice, enough to fill a basket. On the 24th day, Ronnie was presented with 8,388,608 grains of rice, enough to fill 8 baskets, which were carried to her by 8 royal deer. Wow. On the 27th day, 32 Brahma bulls were needed to deliver 64 baskets of rice. Let me read that again. On the 27th day, 32 Brahma bulls were needed to deliver 64 baskets of rice. The Raja was deeply troubled. Now he's very concerned, right? Very, very concerned. 1 grain of rice has grown very, very great indeed, he thought. But I shall fulfill the reward to the end, as the Raja should. On the 29th day, Ronnie was presented with the contents of 2 royal storehouses. Remember where we talked about storehouse at the beginning? What was the Raja doing at the beginning? What was he doing? Remember what he was doing? What was he doing? He was storing all the grains of rice in the storehouse, remember? So now, how many storehouses? She's got the contents of 2 royal storehouses. And look at all that. It looks like camel are delivering this. It looks like this page pulls out. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Can you see that? Wow, look at that. How cool is that? On the I think there's some more pages here. I need a longer arm. On the 30th and final day, listen to this. 256 elephants crossed the province, carrying the contents of the last 4 royal storehouses, 536,870,912 grains of rice. Is that huge?
Yes.
Wow, it is. Altogether, Ronnie had received more than 1 billion grains of rice. 1 billion. Not million, but billion grains of rice. The Raja had no more rice to give. And what will you do with this rice, said the Raja, with a sigh, now that I have none? I shall give it all to the hungry people, said Ronnie, and I shall leave a basket of rice for you too, if you promise from now on to take only as much rice as you need. I promise, the Raja said. And let me read this again. And for the rest of his days, the Raja was truly wise and fair, as the Raja should be.